As Peacebuilders from around the world, united as the Global Partnership for the Prevention of Armed Conflict (GPPAC), we stand in solidarity with all those affected by the novel coronavirus. This pandemic is not just a challenge to human health,
but to human dignity and the values that we hold dearest as peacebuilders.
Strengthening peacebuilding, human security, and global cooperation is now more essential than ever.
We add our voices to the call of the United Nations Secretary-General for a global ceasefire. The human cost of war is always unacceptable, and this will be exacerbated by the pandemic.
As Peacebuilders, we are here to help support
dialogue and mediation and to seek a peaceful way forward together. We call for a permanent lockdown on war.
Governments, political, religious and community leaders, media and civil society, do not allow this pandemic to be used as an excuse for xenophobia, racism, discrimination, or the perpetuation of political divisions.
Ensure that support reaches all parts of society, including marginalized and vulnerable groups.
Protect those at increased risk of domestic, sexual and gender-based violence, and protect health workers. Ensure that communication about the disease and about the measures to address it
is accurate, equal, and accessible.
Make civil society leaders, including women peacebuilders, young people, traditional indigenous and faith community leaders, part of the dialogue on response and recovery. Now, more than ever, we need a multi-stakeholder approach.
We support temporary measures to halt the spread of COVID-19, but they must respect human rights, and civic space.
Governments do not violate people's right to privacy.
Address hate speech and false information, but don't restrict freedom of speech or access to information.
Do not limit the freedom of peaceful assembly any longer than necessary to hold this virus.
Do not use a state of emergency to bypass elected bodies in matters unrelated to the disease.
Ensure that civil society voices can be heard.
Any measures taken must be necessary, proportional, and time-bound.
We call on governments, especially those of wealthy countries, to extend solidarity across the world. This pandemic impacts us all, but it will hit the poor the hardest.
Address this inequality. We need a global pandemic Marshall Plan to protect people, protect economies, and our collective future.
A coordinated approach and pooling of resources are needed for ensuring just and inclusive recovery.
The Sustainable Development Goals provide an integrated framework to rebuild and address the needs of marginalized and vulnerable populations.
Create new aid packages to halt this pandemic. Do not divert funds from other issues.
It remains as important as ever to build peace, address gender inequality, protect human rights, mitigate the climate crisis, fight hunger, and much more. Local peace builders are the first responders. Our work is critical and must be supported.
We have a shared responsibility to shape the world we want to live in once this pandemic has passed.
As a community of peacebuilders, we have bigger dreams than a return to pre-pandemic status quo.
As humanity, we have a chance
to contribute to achieving all sustainable development goals, to rebuild the public good and public institutions,
to recommit to international cooperation and reform the international institutional architecture, including the UN system.
To realize a true shift to prevention and the transformative approach societies deserve.
to refocus on what is most important to us,
to protect and expand human rights and civic space,
to show that human instinct leads towards kindness and caring, not hatred and violence, to build our collective infrastructures for peace and resilience to these and future challenges,
to support people and the planet over money and markets,
to provide our critical workers with better wages and conditions,
to end wars and build peace,
to be able to look back one day and say,
2020 was the year we chose to change the whole world for the better.
For the better.
for the better,
For the better.
For the good.
For the better.
For the better.